Alright, Schlockmeister fans, Jane Birkin stars as Catherine in Catherine and Company. Let's watch. This is Jane Birkin. She plays Catherine.
Couldn't you just show these to him, please?
Is your out here yet?
A directory.
She doesn't have a lot of money, and she needs to find a way to get cash soon.
But he was just upstairs.
You what? Did you tell him I was here?
So she's a British woman, but she goes to Paris.
Just arrived in Paris.
Is it obvious?
Yes.
Is it true that his wife is so terrible?
Not at all. She's quite charming.
She finds a place to stay and promptly takes a bath.
How long have you been living in Paris? All my life, why? Because you wouldn't believe how tiring it is the first day. I'm completely worn out. Do it.
She ends up getting an apartment.
It won't make trouble for anyone.
That's why I sold it. Besides, it's much better if there's someone around while the work's being done. The owner should appreciate that.
Still, perhaps.
She ends up sleeping around with a lot of people, and then she gets the idea that, hey, maybe I should become a prostitute. That's a good way to make money.
You'll always make out.
This guy wants to take pictures of her.
To perfection in art. You may be considered both Renaissance and acrylic.
How's that again?
I mean, it would give me enormous pleasure if you would consider posing for me.
Posing? Posing?
Why,
Posing naked.
Renoir used to say,
He paints her nude, which I can't show you, unfortunately.
with my brush.
Oh,
Our collaboration can hardly have begun more auspiciously. Allow me to express my thanks. Just that I got a wife and 6 children.
oh really? Girls or boys?
All girls.
You don't mean it. 6 girls, but that's wonderful.
I mean, when I somehow feel so bad about it.
A man who feels bad only because he's enjoyed himself, what a fool.
She suddenly realizes that she's making a lot of money,
My handbag.
and she's also able to pass her driver's test because of things like this. I totally get it, by the way.
Oh, that's really nice, thank you.
She keeps basically a diary of all her men. She's doing such a good job making a lot of money, she decides she's going to incorporate her prostitution business.
Do you want a regular salary?
No, mine's very irregular. Goes up a lot. I'm forming my own company, you see.
And would you prefer the checkbook in your name or the company's?
Needless to say, her business becomes very successful, and she starts to sell stock, shares in her company,
In honor of your promotion.
to her Johns.
My
So
what?
she's basically selling herself.
I hope your company is a great success.
And she keeps going.
Do the others make you scream that much?
And you're proof of that.
That's her accountant.
I'll lead you to your clients.
He likes
They're
her.
not my clients, they're stockholders.
Well, you can call them what you will. It doesn't change a damn thing.
But it changes everything, don't you understand? They're friends of mine, don't you see?
Are they now? Ha! Well, then good for you.
I would have slept with them sooner or later, so if they give me money as well, I don't see who'd get upset about it.
May!
Then you poor idiot.
Nowadays,
As a successful businesswoman,
Well, yes, but all the same.
somebody wants to interview her.
Nowadays, the author is himself a book. All we do is to allow the reader to read him, huh? You understand? You have a moment. You get started.
You want to wait to me right
No,
now?
you just talk about yourself. You have the microphone. Here's the button.
This guy's going to teach her how to be a snob.
But I feel I ought to point out one thing. I am perfectly willing to give you a few lessons in snobism. But be careful to what use you put it. Hmm?
She was going to write a book.
You're what?
You won't understand.
Well, I think I'm beginning to, but tell me anyway.
Well, I wanted to live a dream.
with the illusion of it not being a dream.
Invest.
Invest with what?
The 5,000 in options I placed. That sale earned you a big bundle from the sugar and coffee. You've got 100,000 now, $100,000.
Net?
Net. And it's already in your account.
Go.
Excellent initiative. But then...
Well, I've got some ideas to reorganize the business all round.
Oh, I see, yes. But what'll happen to your poor old stockholders?
You're all dear to me, as friends, not only as stockholders.
Her accountant
He's
lover.
the next stockholder.
Why no? Why'd you say that? He was on at the first.
You mean you're going on?
But, I mean, why not?
He doesn't want her to do this anymore.
How come then?
No, I'll marry you.
But why?
Because on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and Friday, all of them, I want you. Well, now you're going to go and explain to all those guys that it's finished. That you'll never sleep with them again. Will you do it?
No.
They meet each other later on.
It's the least I could do.
Some time has passed.
I hope you're doing well.
Just fine.
And you're not sorry.
No.
Friend a kiss?
Oh, no. A handshake's better. I love you.
I love you.
That's our movie. All right, let's talk about this movie called Catherine and Company. I believe this showed up on cable in the 80s. I never saw it, but I wrote it down once as a movie. If it ever came back on cable, I should tape it again. Never did come back. And in the late 90s, early 2000s, I managed to track down a pre-recorded VHS tape of it, EP speed, and bought it off of eBay. And that's how I have this movie. It's not available on DVD. Not available on any SP speed VHS tape that I'm aware of. So I burned a DVD-R and made some box art from the box. That's what it looks like. So it's a pretty rare film in that regard. Is it good? I don't know. It's goofy. It stars Jane Birkin, who is a legitimate actress. So it's like kind of quote-unquote a real movie. She is a woman, British woman. She decides to leave London and go to Paris. She needs money while she's there, so she decides to start prostituting herself. She's a lovely lady, and she finds it pretty easy to get men to pay her to have sex with her. So that's what she does, and eventually she makes good money, so she decides, you know what, I should start this as my business, incorporate this business, sell shares to my Johns, and then eventually she's going to buy them back, and she's going to get super rich. That's her plan, and ultimately that plan works. After several different sex romps, she has an accountant who she kind of falls in love with. The accountant falls in love with her too. But basically, she gets very wealthy, prostituting herself and selling shares in herself, her own little company, which is herself. So when this is all said and done, the accountant says, well, I still want to be with you, marry me. And she's like, nope, I'll still be with you, but I'm going to be with everybody else too. She's a very free spirit, and she likes to have sex apparently every day of the week with somebody else. So he gets upset and leaves, and then he tries to convince her again later on, and she still says, nope, not happening. So anyway, at the end of the movie, some time has passed, and then they meet each other in the street, and they give little pleasantries with each other, and they both say they have no regrets, and they both say that they love each other. And that's how the movie ends, with them walking away. I don't know what to make of that. So anyway, that's it. It's a goofy, ridiculous film, but Jane Birkin is super cute, and she's a decent actress, so she elevates this thing a little bit. One of the guys, I made a comment in there about he's going to teach her how to be a snob. That actor, I recognize him. I think he was in the movie Black Venus, which I reviewed on my previous channel. I will re-review it again sometime in the future on this channel as well. So, but other than that, I didn't recognize anybody. Just a strange film. Like I said, not available on DVD, although I wish it would. My copy's not the greatest, as you saw there. However, I'm going to obtain a better copy in the next couple of weeks, so I will have a better one than the one you just saw. So, but anyway, that's it. It's Catherine and Company. Like I said, it's a rare film. I don't know where you're going to find this thing other than in my house, so come on over, right? Check it out if you can find it. Let me know what you think about it. It ain't bad, and there's plenty of nudity in it for your Jane Birkin fans. If you want to see her boobs, you can watch it here. Check it out. Leave some comments. Let me know. Actually, there's not a ton of nudity in this movie, but there's a few scenes, and it's always Jane Birkin, and like I said, she's cute. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough. Watch it. Leave some comments. Let me know what you think about it. Catherine and Company. Bye.